I'm gonna make these some gloves. These clean.
Really? Make sure you sign in before you go in. Don't go in without signing in. If you got a card, sign in. If you ain't, sign in.
It's a great showing of community spirit.
Sit down, relax, and I hope y'all have a good time. It's Mardi Gras, y'all!
Yay!
City staff person for the Medical Cannabis Task Force, and this is her second time here just supporting what we do. I want to introduce Carol Lake, and let's give her a big round of applause. She's very patient, positive, and helping us with our next agenda. And our next chairperson of the Medical Cannabis Task Force is here as well. Albert, you want to show yourself, give a big hand? And the rumor is the next agenda is all about us.
Uh-oh.
Patient-driven agenda. Thank you, Carol, for stopping by. We love you. Big round of applause for Carol for coming in.
Yay!
And hopefully you all will get up to the Medical Cannabis Task Force, which is the third Friday of every month in City Hall, room 400. You have your own cannabis government, many thanks to patient advocates, and that is critical for everyone's justice, not just our community.
Full dining room full of cookies.
Yes, sir.
So it's have lovely jambalaya.
You got the nice smile.
Yeah, let me know how it is. Yeah.
Yes, sir. On our way back in my house.
And we've rearranged things.
Can I get you and get out of here, please?
Get up for it if you need brush up.
Hey, let me have some plates, because I'm just standing.
Thank you.
Jay has been volunteering since 10 o'clock this morning and serving your drinks. Today we signed a 6-month contract with the Women's Building to be able to do this for our extended family.
There you go. Yeah. Kathy Smith, yay!
And then I want to really give a special thanks to Scott and Diana Phil, who catered our evening tonight. So if you're enjoying, please, big round of applause, because this also made us very safe and healthy. Everything was cooked in a restaurant and etc. Scott is facing a 20-year sentence by our lovely government for compassionate care. So I will have him come up and speak and kind of fill everybody in. I definitely want to thank Ed Breslin of Bach, who not only contributed but is also serving food along with Diane and Scott Phil's whole family and all of the members of Access of Love who will be serving you tonight. Have been working on this for a good week. It takes about a week of worth of work to get this all kind of put together, but we're getting better at it every month, aren't we? So can I get a big round of applause for the patient advocacy team? I really want to thank Aaron Flynn and his group of veterans that also helped put this together. And we'll also be speaking because we're about to do something historic at City Hall. We're going to have a veterans working group for the Medical Cannabis Task Force. So let's give it up for our vets.
Yeah!
want to thank Johnny Batista and Darren from the Bernal Heights Dispensary. They donated some of the medicine that we will be sharing with patients before you leave.
Don't you see that my grace is kept me the long late God no end. It's a long, long lane that's got no end.
I want to now announce our Volunteer of the Year award for Polly Torello. Let's give a big round of Is that all you want to say?
No, say speed. Speed.
Okay, I also have 8 days clean.
Shoot.
Counting up.
Just wanting to make sure that everybody kind of knows some up-and-coming court dates that we're going to be working on. I first want to bring up I'm going to go from the federal level to the local level. So I first want to bring up our wonderful maker of jambalaya and bringer of our gorgeous Mardi Gras dinner, and the person who's filed 13 counts of misconduct against the government for raiding medical cannabis distribution sites and gardens. Scott Bell, you want to come up and tell us all about what's going on? A big round of applause for this guy. This is a person on the cutting edge fighting for our rights.
Yay!
I see a lot of familiar faces out there, but I'm going to say it all over again, what I said last time. I'll familiarize you with the case. We had one of the first dispensaries down in Los Angeles, and we got raided by LAPD. So then LAPD raided our dispensary back in 2005. So then we fought that case in Los Angeles, and then we won it at the local level. But then what happened is they turned around and put the case over into the federal level. So then we fought it all the way up to the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals. And we won it at the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals for the forfeiture. Thank you. Long battle for that one. But now the federal government turned around and they're federally charging me and my wife. And we're both looking at 20 years in prison. So what I'm looking for is, what I've noticed is San Francisco, and they're charging us in San Francisco, which is kind of an odd thing. We live in Northern California, so that's probably why they're doing that. So what I need is, I need as many people as possible to show up in court. Because what I've noticed is all the changes that happen is the extremists in San Francisco. You guys make the laws. You guys make a change. The United States listens to you guys. This room, if just half of the people in this room showed up in court, we could change this. And the federal government would stop harassing all the dispensaries and all the patients out there. The prosecutor says that you guys don't care. Nobody's going to show up for court.
We care.
And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that care. People that could show up for court and help us out. So, I've been handing out cards. If nobody has one of these cards yet, it gives an internet site that I update constantly of the court dates coming up. And we need every single court date. We need to pack that courtroom. Last time we had a court date, we filled the courtroom, and then the prosecutor got scared and sealed the courtroom and kicked everybody out.
That's unconstitutional.
Yeah, got scared. They had federal marshals show up, crowd control. I mean, it was a really good. Thank you, Shona. Shona brought everybody there, fed everybody in the park, and brought everybody over to the court. And then as soon as everybody left, the judge wondered what happened, and he got mad and unsealed the courtroom, but by then everybody was gone. So they can't pull that one twice. We're not going to let them pull it twice.
Exactly. You can pull me once, but you can't pull me twice.
So now the 9th, we might have a court date. I know we have one on the 31st the next month, but the internet site constantly, every day, I update it. So please look at the internet site. I'm looking for as much support as I can get, and we'll change these laws. We're fighting this thing all the way to the end. So thank you.
So folks, don't be shy of introducing yourself to Scott, and his entire family is here with him tonight. That's his youngest is with him right now. And you really got to look at it. That's prosecuting and breaking up our families. And the war supposedly on drugs is really a war on the poor and people who provide for the poor and our families. Let's be real about that, right?
Stop the war on the
So I
poor.
really want to thank Scott again. Without his, tenacity to survive, possibly looking at 20 years, right? And here we are all together to make that not happen. We're here, and we're going to stay here to block injustice. Something that's happening at a local level, which is absolutely no fun, is that we tried to get a permit in the Sunset for BAC, Bay Area Compassionate Health. And we lost again at San Francisco Board of Appeals. But we did something really remarkable. We got them to not look at Captain Schmidt's letter that said that our community brings homicides, rapes, and stabbings, which is completely the opposite. And statistics prove when the medical cannabis community opens up a dispensary in a neighborhood, that whole block gains safety. The whole block is nice.
And the restaurants don't do
And
that
the restaurants don't mind it either. Right? And it takes a lot to continue this fight, to say no to selective enforcement. So they're allowing dispensaries in poor neighborhoods that are 1,000 feet away from a school, but not in the Sunset. I'm sorry, wait a minute, the law only applies in part of the city? No, I'm sorry. Our laws apply for the entire city. And my friend Ed has been fighting this battle with BAC, and he's just a really great person to get to know. He wanted to talk about hockey. I told him he couldn't, but he might anyway. But I think everybody knows and loves Ed, so let's bring up Ed Breslin to talk about our continued battle to bring safe access to the Sunset.
Hey guys, who likes that jambalaya?
Yeah!
Who loves access of love?
Yay!
Without access of love, we would not be here every month. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So, let's talk about the Sunset. Who does not like Carmen Chu?
Me!
Please, when you see her, tell her she deserves to have a dispensary in San Francisco in the Sunset. Now, this is a minority issue. If you look at this, it's a really minority issue. If my name was Torres and I wanted to open a Spanish church in the Sunset because I was a minority, would they let me open up in the Sunset because the majority said we couldn't? This is a minority issue with rights from our Constitution here in California. I need you to tell Carmen Chu, shame on you.
Shame on you!
Please, shame on you, Carmen Chu, for not allowing us to provide safe, compassionate access to patients in the Sunset. There's over 2,500 patients in the Sunset that deserve safe access. Do you guys all want safe access in the Sunset?
Yes!
Please help me, because I'll help you. Thank you.